Hello, I'm Nila Chakraborty. Welcome to SBW Talks, where strong women have real talks and share real stories and keep it all the way real. This is a space where we drop the masks, unpack the layers, and speak from the heart. No filters, no fluff, just raw, honest conversations. Today, I'm so excited to welcome Aneela Idnani back, co founder of Habit Aware and one of the most inspiring voices in the BFRB community. What started as a mission to help people with body focused repetitive behaviors has grown into a powerful behavior change methodology that can transform every area of life. Aneela's own journey from living with BFRB to navigating breast cancer is a testament of just how far these tools can reach. In this conversation, we'll explore what this system is, how she's used it in her own life, and how you can adapt it to create a real lasting change. Welcome back, Aneela. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be back. I've been on podcasts before and had interviews and sometimes come back for a second round, but never like, let's do this next week.
I
So I'm
know.
excited. We had such a great conversation and there's so much more to share. So I'm super, super excited.
Yeah, and I think we got BFRB, what it was, what it's about. I think I wasn't aware of it. And I wanted my viewers to know what that behavior is and what it's called. So thank you for doing this on our podcast.
Yeah. Well, thank you for raising awareness and not just sharing the podcast interview, but going extra steps to share information about body focused repetitive behaviors so that people in your community can learn more.
No, absolutely. So let's get back to you. So you've been open about living with BFRB and how much it shaped so much of your lives. So for our viewers, Aneela was diagnosed with breast cancer in what year, Aneela?
In 2021.
Okay. So how did
2022, sorry. 2021 was my mammogram, and then it was towards the end of the year. So the diagnosis actually came on World Cancer Day 2022.
Wow. Okay. So, how did your experience with having BFRB affect the way you process that moment and everything that came after?
Yeah, it's like a huge question. And I guess before we jump into it, just for those who may not have heard the first interview, BFRB stands for Body Focused Repetitive Behaviors. These are mental health conditions where the mind body connection is such that the brain uses the body in a repetitive behavioral way to self soothe. So things like hair pulling, skin picking, nail biting, nose picking, all to an excessive degree, right? Like casual nail biting or, one pimple popping here does not make it a mental health condition, but it's when it goes to this extreme of the brain's just doing it automatically and it's creating these unwanted after effects like bald spots or skin infections or your fingers bleeding, and that then in turn creates shame and impairs life. Then it is a mental health condition. And so I have trichotillomania, and I was which is hair pulling disorder, and I hid it for a really long time. So, you mentioned that I've been very vocal, and that's only in the last 10 years or so in coming up with this idea of the work that we do at Habit Aware to help people with these conditions, that I've realized that, yeah, in order to help people, we have to share our stories, we have to share our solutions, we have to share our methods, we have to be brave enough to let go of whatever baggage we were holding on to and whatever walls that we'd put up. To actually answer your question of what did I learn from taking control of my hair pulling and how did I apply it to breast cancer? Well, what I learned was what's on my t-shirt, that the methodology to take control of hair pulling, skin picking, nail biting, of these unwanted hand movements, of these things we don't want in our lives, is to meet it with awareness, to meet it with that moment of pause, to question it with curiosity and say, what are you trying to tell me? And then to take that information and summon the strength to respond with love. Not with, oh, Aneela, what's wrong with you? Why did you pull out your hair again? Or, oh my God, Aneela, how did you get breast cancer? I'm so scared. And fear, go that fear-based mode. And so this methodology worked for me to now take control, like full eyebrows, full eyelashes. If I pull here and there, it's my choice. I am aware and I say, oh, okay, I got it. I'm going to go take care of myself. And then recognizing that, yeah, this system has helped me with parenting. It's helped me with being a better driver, being a more patient driver,
Right.
you know? And then when breast cancer came knocking at my door, I could have easily gone the fear route because I lost my dad to cancer when I was 17
Okay.
to leukemia. And I could have said, oh my God, chemo, like, look at what it did to him. Oh my God, that's going to be my path, and gone down fear. But I slowed down and I chose to notice and I chose to stay strong and I chose love. And I said, breast cancer, what do you want from me? And at the time, I was, running Habit Aware with my husband. We had an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old, I think. They were young, right? Like now he's 12. So young kids. I was teaching entrepreneurship here at Minneapolis College of Art and Design for students. I was on the board of 2 nonprofits in the startup space, helping startups build their businesses, all of which was very important to me. All of which, my kids are important to me. Encouraging entrepreneurship in younger generations is important to me, especially entrepreneurship, which is more about values and impact versus purely for financial purposes. And then that also dovetailed into the 2 startup nonprofits I was working in, and helping smaller businesses that normally wouldn't get funding try to get that funding. So to me, I took that breast cancer with love and said, okay, I think you're trying to tell me I'm doing too much. I think you're trying to tell me I'm running myself into the ground. I mean, my body was, that's what my body was telling me. And so I exited the 2 nonprofits. I wrapped up the teaching for that semester and said, I can't come back until maybe my kids are older and they're ready and waiting with open arms. And I just refocused. And when I say I did all this work, I didn't do it alone. I had 2 mental health professionals help me identify my values and now start to actually stick to them. Because before I was just a yes person. If someone asked me
How
to do something,
how did you find out about this diagnosis? Like you went for a mammogram or
yeah. So in 2021, at the end of 2021, I went for my annual checkup, and she was like, "Oh, you just turned 40. You should go get a mammogram." So I went to get a mammogram. They said my breast tissue was very dense, and to go for an ultrasound. And she said it's routine. It's no big deal. So I walked in thinking, okay, this is routine. It's no big deal. And then all of a sudden, the ultrasound technician was, got quiet. We were chatting away, and then she got quiet, and then she started taking pictures on the screen, and I was like, oh crap. And then I had to go back for like another ultrasound or a biopsy, and then they were like, okay, it's cancer. And so that was kind of how I found out. And then I found out on World Cancer Day, got the email saying, hey, this, the tests have come back. It's cancer.
that's a long journey in itself. Just hearing the word cancer, I know scares a lot of people, but the prognosis was excellent. You know, you went and got that mammogram, and that kind of almost saved your life, I would say.
And it was caught so early, like a few doctors, kept saying like, oh, this is the best breast cancer to have. You caught it really early. The type that it was, estrogen positive. I'm like now forgotten all the vocab. There's in my mind, like I'm actually literally just coming from my annual oncology visit, and I've just sort of, I want to walk away. Like I've walked away, I've closed the door, which means I don't need to know the language. I don't need to know what I had.
Right.
I don't care what the abbreviation is of the type of cancer I had, because I don't have it anymore.
Right.
Gone. It's gone. It did what it had to do.
And you learned so much from that whole process about how to control your emotions, your feelings. It was almost like a blessing, Aneela.
It was. It was. I say every day, thank you. Like it was a blessing to get this cancer, because it put me back on my path. How it taught me to say no. It didn't teach me how to say no. So I'm still learning that. It taught me to boundaries in that sense of, once you know your values, then that's your fence, right? Like then you can say no to, hey, can you come speak at this, or hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And it taught me to just listen to my body, listen to the signs around me, to stay on my path.
And did you wear your wristlet? Yeah. Did you have that at that time?
So by this time, 2021, 2022, no, like I don't really wear the bracelet because I am in control. Like last night we were watching a movie with the kids, and I know I was pulling. I was tired. It was a Marvel movie, so it was a lot of tense fighting, so I was getting anxious. So I knew I was pulling, and I was like, okay, stop. all right, stop. And then finally I pulled and I was like, nope, that's it. That's the third one. Done. Right? There's grace. There's grace with these behaviors that, I didn't keep going to the point where it's noticeable, to the point where it's going to bother me that it's noticeable, that kind of thing. Like I knew it was happening in a way that I was in control of it. I was acknowledging it. I was aware of it. And I was in command and in decision mode of like, I'm okay.
I think that's the first solution is being aware of it
Yep.
and then telling yourself to stop.
Yep.
And which a lot of people don't do. First of all, they're not aware of it, what they're
Yeah.
doing, because it's so unconscious.
Right.
Subconsciously, you're doing stuff until someone tells you, hey, stop.
Right. Yeah. And even the breast cancer diagnosis, right? Like the first subconscious reaction is fear.
Right.
Right? As soon as she told me, the radiologist told me, I was waiting in the ultrasound clinic for the radiologist to review the snapshots, and she told me it was, probably something and we need to do a biopsy next. Immediately I went to fear. And I went to, oh my God, is the fear that I went to was also kind of weird. It was like, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It was, oh my God, is my insurance gonna pay for this?
Yeah, the financial aspect of it, right?
That was the fear that I was like, and I think my brain kind of chose to go to what I'm calling a safe fear. I'm blessed and I'm privileged to have good health insurance. Like I knew that like I would be okay from that perspective, but like the response was still fear. The response was still worry. The response was still like I don't think my brain would allow me to go all the way down in that moment, because that would have just like I would have spiraled so bad. So it was like still trying to safeguard me, but still was like we gotta worry about something here. Like we have anxiety, Aneela. We gotta funnel it somewhere.
Right, right. And then what are the lessons? Like, what would you tell someone that does have BFRB and they got a health diagnosis? What is something you would tell someone how to deal with it?
I mean, anyone, not just with the BFRB or not just with a behavior of like a other sort of physical health diagnosis. Everything is here. Everything is our teacher. My kids are my teacher. The person driving slow in front of me is my teacher. Everything is a teacher. And so if we can meet each moment, and it's hard to do this all the time. If we can meet each moment with a slowing downness that allows us to be aware and to summon that strength to take love. The reason I say summon the strength to take love is because fear and anger and being a jerk is easy. That's why they call it knee jerk reaction. Easy. It takes so much more effort to choose love. It takes
And to
so
love
much more.
yourself.
Yeah, and to love yourself. And that's self love is a huge part of the BFRB recovery process. It's relearning all these negative things you've been telling yourself for years and years and years. Aneela, you're ugly. You're never going to get married. No one's going to love you. What's wrong with you? Right? I could say those things all day long for 20 plus years. And now,
No, it's done. It's complete. How much more are you going to hear?
yeah.
And I think self-awareness is so needed in everything we do.
Yeah.
It's how we treat ourselves, how we treat others,
Yep.
our family, our friends. And I think a lot of people are not self-aware.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole backlash about being woke. Like, being awake and experiencing life and understanding that you are experiencing life in a different way than someone else, that is beautiful.
And a lot of people, Aneela, what I feel is acceptance, like denial. So many people are in denial.
Yeah.
If something's going on with them, it's just they don't want to, I guess, find a solution, or they're happy being that way. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, we say, like, people ask us, oh, who are your competitors? And are, for body focused repetitive behaviors. And I always say our competitors is doing nothing. Our competitor is doing nothing, is just saying, well, this is my lot in life. I'm not even going to try. Like, I'm just going to hide it. I'm going to, put makeup on. I'm going to wear a wig. I'm going to mask it. That is more of a competitor. Help, like, trying to switch someone's mindset to, but if you worked in a different way, you could get better.
Right.
Right.
And then with this diagnosis, what I was going to ask you, have either of these experiences like changed how you advocate for yourself in a medical setting?
Yeah, well, I have to thank my husband for all the medical advocacy, because he's just, I mean, if I tried to read one of these breast cancer medication reports, I would be asleep in 2 minutes.
Right.
And He went through and poured through all of the research. His mom is a medical professional, as a doctor, and he looked at all the research. He made the appointment for me at Mayo to get second opinions. And his math brain and looking at the research, kind of saying from a mathematical perspective, there was no conclusive impact on my length of life if I did chemo or radiation, and that was confirmed by multiple treatment professionals. So I didn't do chemo or radiation. I'm just on hormone therapy for 5 to 10 years, and I really think that it's a testament to catching it early, but I also think it's a testament to me not worrying and me listening and taking action, because the breast cancer didn't have to say, well, I need to go to further extremes because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so I think back to my dad, and I'm like, I wonder what he wasn't doing that he was supposed to be doing.
What advice would you give to women that they know they need to get that mammogram, but they're scared? Their fear, like that fear is coming, is what if I
Yeah.
do have it?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
advice would you give them?
Again, don't see it as a door closing, see it as a door opening. I'm currently watching, and when I say watching, like watching a friend of mine in advertising. I used to work in advertising, so a friend of mine, her son is in his late teens, and he was recently diagnosed with some sort of knee cancer, and just was, the leg was amputated. And this kid, and when I say I'm watching her posts on social media. This kid was a rising soccer star, right? And the way this family met this moment has just been, with so much love, with so much support, with so much hope. Now, I'm sure, just like me, the way that I'm talking about my breast cancer, there were definitely closed door moments where, that first shower after seeing all the scarring, like,
Right.
I fell to the floor crying, right? There's definitely those moments that I know they're having.
Right.
But this kid and this human went through such an ordeal. And just yesterday, I saw this beautiful post of him wearing a Min United jersey. They, at the stadium, they kind of honored him. He was like the player of the game. And we even I saw a video of him, with his crutches and playing soccer with one leg on this field and kicking the ball, into the net with these professional soccer players, right? And so I say to anyone that's fearful of getting sick that if you look at it as a door opening instead of a door closing,
So true.
magic happens. Magic happens. So, yes, this person is, going through a hell of a lot right now, but there's so much beauty coming from it as well.
Yeah, you learn so much about yourself, about your family, your friends, like the medical industry. It's just a whole learning experience.
Yeah.
It's truly a wonder what the medical system can do. And if you don't go and get tested, people don't go to the doctors. Well, I think you're just ruining it for yourself because technology is out there. What it was like when our parents' age, when you'd be
Yeah.
scared to go to the doctor.
Yeah, and I really didn't want to have chemo because I did have these images of my dad losing all this weight, all his hair, like he was so weak, he was so like could barely, like this was like he was an active guy, like I did have that in the back of my mind. But then, shortly after my own breast cancer path, another friend had breast cancer and something else, and she did have to do chemo. But it was, yeah, the technologies have changed. Like she never matched the picture in my head of what it could be. She was still healthy. She was still picking up the kiddos from school, dropping them off. She still had all her hair, because there's technology now that will help with all of that. So yes, it's going to be scary, but again, if you meet the moment with love, if you meet the moment without fear, one, it's going to go faster, it's going to go smoother, it's going to go happier. It's just the universe will feel your energy and give that back to you.
And another thing, I remember when I was having kids, they said, as a mother, as a female, always take care of your health. You could be there for your kids.
And we run ourselves into the ground putting our kids first, I think, a lot of times. But yeah, learning to put your mask on first is like so important. That's why they say it in the airplanes, right? If you knock out before getting your mask on, that's it. Your kid's gone, It's, yeah.
We need to fill our cups first.
Yeah.
What else do you want to tell our viewers? I mean, this is really profound, Aneela.
Yeah, I mean, I just like looking back at my hair pulling, anxiety, I had like depression, I had a lot of hard stuff in my life. And, hard is like breakups, family, work, grief. We all experience these things. They're all challenges for lifting weights. Each of these, every time, right? Every time it's a weight that we're lifting, and it's making us stronger. And we have to allow that process in a healthy way, right? Like I lost my dad, and I couldn't. I couldn't deal with it. I was deeply depressed, and I took to drinking right in high school, and it took me a really long time to get out of that having control of my life and seeing that it was a problem. Would drink under the guise of, I'm in college. This is what college kids do. They get wasted every night. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was the only one getting wasted every night.
Right. And I think, again, being self-aware and realizing what you're doing to yourself. And after realizing that, you're like, okay, I have to make the change. 10, 20 people can tell me what to do, but I have to make that change within
Yep.
me. And I think
Yep.
you did a really good job because you have overcome so many battles in your life. And look at where you are right now. You're a TED Talk speaker. You made that wristlet. You're like a speaker just talking about BFRB, going through grief, breast cancer, just raising your kids, having a mental health, like it's a lot of stress and
It's a lot, yeah. And in the same breath, I'm very privileged that we have like a very safe and secure lifestyle. Our home is filled with love. I have an amazing partner, Samir, my husband, who's like just my rock. Like that moment in the shower, that first time, like I almost passed out. It was so hot, and I had to call. Like my mom was with me, my sister was with me, my kids were with me. I had to call him because I didn't want anyone else to see. And he was just my rock. He just held me up, and he looked at me, and he was like, "You're doing great."
but you are a fighter. And I think you're teaching a lot of people how to fight and stand
Yeah,
up.
and really, it's not a fight. That's kind of the other thing I learned with the breast cancer is fighting is coming at it with fear. Fighting is coming at it with anger. Fighting is coming at it with all this negativity. Like, you want it dead, you want it gone. I danced with my breast cancer. I opened the door, I took it by its hand, and I said, "Come on in." I let it lead. I led in some moments, making decisions on, what type of care I want. And I think that made it more, dare I say, joyous. And so that's kind of the other message, is that when you live this way, then you can dance. Then you can allow whatever challenge it is allow whatever challenge you have to come on in next to you, not inside you, right? Because like fighting, anger, all that stuff festers and it becomes you.
It's like negative energy.
Exactly. And so meeting the challenge, meeting the negative challenge with positive energy, it says it goes small. It says I can't do anything here, right? If you meet it with negativity, it's like, yeah, let's go. It gets confused. It's like a bully. A bully says, "Aneela, where are your eyebrows?" I walk away. Or ew, or makes a joke about my lack of eyebrows. Like, instead of running off, if I had just looked them in the eye and said, "Why is that funny?" Right? If I cowered in fear, but if I had met them with curiosity, they wouldn't have known what to do with it.
Right.
And they would have went away.
That's so beautifully put. What else do you want to? I mean, we're almost at the end of our session. I mean, you're just so profound. What else do you want to let our viewers know?
Just this message. Awareness to summon the strength to choose love. Just try it out. Try it out the next time you're in the grocery store and the line is long. Try it out the next time the light is green and the person in front of you is on their phone and doesn't notice it. Try it out with your kids when they don't put their
Listen.
shoes in a row or listen or whatever it is that aggravates you.
It teaches you patience and resilience.
Exactly, yeah. And try it out in these easy moments. And again, it's that muscle memory. The more you try it in these easy moments, the stronger you'll be when something hard comes.
Wow, you are like amazing as an individual. I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to meet you. This is our second podcast. I hope our viewers really listen to you and reach out to her. I think you would be a great mentor, guidance to a lot of people. I mean, just come and listen to her. She didn't
Yeah.
get on TED Talks for a reason.
I love meeting new people. I can't wait for us to have lunch together one day soon. Whomever I can help, I would be happy to. I mean, it's funny, like as I've been going through this like right after my own breast cancer diagnosis, a few people, oh, my friend has it, and my friend has it. Will you talk to so and so? And I did try to share this message, but it's also like people don't want to hear this. They're like, don't tell me to dance with my breast cancer, like F you, But it's if you can, get on this crazy board that I'm on with me, I promise you it will make it smoother.
If you're mentally like positive and traveling with love,
Yep.
focusing with love, I think it'll take you a long way. Well, thank you, Aneela.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming again. We'll give
Thank
all
you.
her information again to our viewers. It was wonderful speaking with you. I'm so happy I got to know you,
I
your
know.
journey.
Oh, me too. I'm really, really excited for our lunch.
Yes, thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
SBW Talks, to our viewers. Thanks, Aneela.
Thank you.